Hi, hi. I'm a minute early. How is everybody? Hopefully, we'll just have a good night tonight. Just something fun. Get our mind off of the shambles. Hey, Steph B. Thanks for coming, honey. Nicole B. Erica J. Who else is here? That's it for right now. So tonight we're going to talk about the tinfoil hat theory. You know how I always talk about how the world is just going insane and there's got to be a reason for it. So I'm looking for reasons. Hey, Kaleidoscope of Crime. Hi. Justice Jane. Hi. Welcome. Burden of Proof. Hi, honey. Thanks for being here. So, I've been looking for a reason why everybody's going crazy. And my tinfoil hat theory tonight is Wi Fi radio signals. If you're new here, the Burrow is a nice, safe place to talk about some things that might be uncomfortable. And I am your Burrow reporter, Grandma Sherry. So, bear with me here for a sec and we'll jump right into it. Oh, I am going to have an open panel too.
If you're someone who's been feeling alone, this world can be a little scary. So come talk to Grandma Sherry.
Hi, I'm back. I'm back. Hey, Vicky G. Thanks for joining. Um, who else came in during the thing? Steph B. Did I say hi? I really appreciate you guys coming. Burden. Becky P. Welcome. Welcome, sweetheart. I appreciate you being here. If you are new, please remember to like and subscribe. And so how is everybody doing? We're doing okay today? Just want to lay a real quick foundation here. Does anybody listen to like white noise or brown noise or pink noise? Anything along that line? I know I listen to brown noise sometimes when I'm having trouble sleeping. It kind of goes well with my tinnitus in my ears from my hard rock days. Yes, I was a headbanger. Um, Actually, I used to babysit for a guy in a metal band, and his baby wouldn't fall asleep unless I had the MTV's Headbangers Ball on. Yeah, so, haha, listen to white noise, Vicky. Okay. So, there's a kind of a whole reason behind that, and it has to do with frequencies. And this is just a real thin ice, sort of high level, let's just get our minds off of stuff. type of thing. But so everybody knows that our nerves run on kind of an electricity type of thing. And our brain has neurons, and that's kind of a frequency and electricity thing. I mean, even scientific skeptic says that the gray matter, the actual brain inside our heads, isn't where our thoughts come from. Um, this day is ish. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, anxiety is at an all-time high. Oh, yeah, okay. Not sure the color difference in the noise, but I listen to rain and fall asleep some nights. I used to listen to oceans, like waves, until I found all the noises. The whole thing about the noises is, "Hey Zooter, how are you, sweetheart?" is the frequency of them. And if you look at them on the whatever you're listening to, it will tell you what frequency it's at. Neurons, transmitters. Yes, exactly. Um, White noise is what people used to call that shh when the television station went off at night. Anybody remember that? They used to do like the national anthem, and then it would go shh for the rest of the night. Now we have everything available at our fingertips 24/7, 365 days a year. Oh, Step B. I love the way you call Zooter your cooter. Um, yeah, showing my age. I am old. I am not quite biblical yet old, but old enough. But anyway, so and people who are really into the woo woo, and I'm not no judgment here because I'm into woo woo. I'm into I really think that there are things that quote science doesn't understand. You know what I mean? Like I'm thoroughly convinced that as the diagnostic and statistical manual progresses, that they're starting to understand, hopefully, that science doesn't understand a lot. And that's why we have places like CERN that are trying to figure out, hey, good Nunya, do a drive-by Lycan, babe. Oh, I got to tell you this. The good Nunya said earlier today in a Discord message, she said that she needed her tinfoil hat because it was holding her brains inside. And I just laughed so hard at that because I thought it was perfect. The tinfoil hat is holding the brain inside. But anyway, so as science progresses and they start understanding, like now medicine can actually do like an MRI or a CAT scan or something, and they can see that there are different shapes of the brain in people like schizophrenics and in people with autism and whatnot. So, with that in mind, I try to be a realist, but at the same time, I hold the idea that there are things out there that we don't understand. Our universe is not just our little solar system; it's massive, massive beyond. And the more we put those massive telescopes out in space, the more they're finding out. Have I visited the Everything Paranormal channel? It's okay. No, but I am subscribed to a bunch of different channels. I love the Why Files. I don't know if you've ever seen him. It's a guy and his little fish, hecklefish. I love that. But anyway, getting back to the thing. So, as far as life goes, everything is connected in frequencies and electrical currents and whatnot. And so I want to show this to you right quick, kind of give you just an idea of what I'm talking about. This is a video on something called the Schumann resonance. Okay. And the Schumann resonance is the real Cliff Notes version of it is the yin and yang. It's the male energy and the female energy. The male energy comes from above, and the female energy comes from the earth itself. And we need these things in order to survive. This is just the primer so that we can start talking about stuff. So let me share this with you.
Around us. Having an OBFR is the starting point for excellent health. According to biophysical research, our biological system is tuned into our planet's background frequency,
Can you
the
hear this?
Schumann resonance, a continuous pulse of 7.83 hertz that beats around the planet within the Earth ionosphere cavity. This has been discovered to be all mammals' prevalent brainwave rhythm. Overlapping this natural frequency with man-made radiation noise can severely affect our immune system. Living beings either evolved in this natural electromagnetic environment or were created with divine intelligence to live in harmony with it, depending on your point of view. One thing is certain, the Earth has surrounded all living things with this natural frequency pulse since the beginning of time. Many specialists feel that this broad spectrum of man-made EMF radiation obscures the Earth's natural beneficial frequency. Electropollution might make us feel more anxious, tired, and out of balance. Exposing living cells to the Schumann resonance had the effect of protecting them from ambient EMFs, allowing the cells to boost their immunological defense and decrease the absorption.
And I was muted that entire time. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah, I'm muted. Duh. This message has to be inspired by Sleuth Mom's mom. Yes, it was. And I am Sleuth Mom's mom. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I blah. Hey, B Tim. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Some Beach. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. B Tim and Tony just did a really cool thing on van life. And I am definitely totally against van life for me. Tinfoil hat cat. Yeah. Um, what else is going on here? Did I miss anybody? If I did, sweethearts, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, I didn't pull out my mic cord. Uh, Fortunately, Sleuth Mom has actually upgraded and she doesn't hold her mic like a 1960s reporter anymore. I love you, Sleuth. Hey, Packless. Welcome in, sweetheart. Okay, so what we were talking about was the Schumann resonance and that there's frequencies and vibrations through everything. So this thing is kind of walking its through and it's 19 minutes long. I'll drop the link so if you want to watch the whole thing, it's really interesting. But this is the part where it's talking about we all have a natural frequency that we live in. Hey, Jasmina, did I say hi to you? And that oftentimes this the radios and the microwaves and the Wi-Fi and the cell phones and all that stuff can actually interrupt our frequencies and make us sick.
absorption of depression-inducing substances. Some researchers claim that using a field generator Schumann device to generate a 7.83 hertz pulse can counteract the effects of the annoying man-made fields. We may give ourselves, at least in our immediate vicinity, a healthier environment if we mimic the Earth's natural rhythm. The Earth has been surrounding and guarding all living things with a natural frequency of 7.83 hertz since the beginning of time, which the ancient Indian rishi called Om. In 9000 BC, Vedic sages living on the banks of the Saraswati River recited the Om mantra. Saraswati's Vedic culture lasted until 4000 BC, when the river became non-perennial due to structural upheavals blocking the Himalayan glacier's mouth.
Okay, nope. That was too far. But anyway, uh so if you get the idea of what I'm saying here, slowing the brain down is key to sleeping. Yes, it is. And the cool thing that this thing just said was that this natural frequency of the earth is also the same frequency of the meditative Om. I'm sure you've seen people do that. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's the Om mantra. Um, and just a couple little quick bits here. A 6.6 hertz causes depression. And I found out that Russia did some experiments using different hertz frequencies, and they used a 10.80 hertz to incite unruly behaviors in sporting arenas. Isn't that a trip? Isn't that a trip? So, my thing, my thing is that do we all know who Daniel Webster is? The guy that actually wrote the dictionary, right? And I don't know, just so many people like Thomas Jefferson spoke like 12 different languages and wrote prolifically and all this other stuff. And there just seemed to be so much more room in their brains, to do really amazing things. And I look at this and I think, because I've actually lived, well, I started living when we were kind of new in technology. We had radio, TV was just a thing. It wasn't until the 80s until they started launching satellites for cable TV. And honestly, I have seen such a decline in intelligence, in attention span, and such an increase in things like violence and attitudes and all this other stuff. So, like I said, what I'm trying to do is figure out why. Why is all this happening? Hey, Tim, I put Elon Musk in there for you, babe. And Letitia, I put that in there for you, Sleuth Mom. Did you notice that? Um, oh, sorry. Okay, here's the link. If anybody wants to join me, you're more than welcome to come up and we'll just talk about stuff. Yeah, Eric said you could look at our brains as our hard drive. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Actually, being autistic, um, I kind of equate the way I think about things as being my program because a lot of my cognition is different than a neurotypical person. So I've had to learn things like, not to interrupt conversations and not to just blurt out whatever's in my brain, whatever's on my mind, because I can be very blunt and it comes off as being rude. So, yeah, so that's my program, my behavioral modifications. Let's see what else. Okay, nobody's coming up yet. Yes. I was actually, you know what, Burden, I found the Deeds palm tree. And I was gonna throw that in there because, she's Illuminati. Um, but I just thought that would be kind of like a nice intro into whatever. So, all right. So we have these frequencies that our brains um, operate on and our bodies operate on. I've never heard of fibromyalgia until recently. And the weird thing is that fibromyalgia wasn't actually recognized in the medical industry. It didn't have its own ICD-9 or ICD-10 code until I think maybe 5 years ago because it's so nebulous. Fibromyalgia is generalized fatigue, it's nonspecific pain. There's all kinds of things that go with it. And I know because they diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. And after watching that thing, that little video, it was talking about how the microwaves and the Wi-Fi's and all that other stuff, would affect not only our brains but also our bodies. And that if we get out of this rhythm, then it can make us physically sick. You still have yet to see a connection to palm trees. We're still talking about deeds. Haha. I wish she was here. But anyway, so yeah, as things progress, and like I said, they launched satellites in the 1980s, and then we started getting fibromyalgia. Yeah, some doctors still won't recognize it. Fibromyalgia. They think it's not really there. That somehow or another you're malingering. There, I used a word from the Stout trial, malingering. Um, but rabbit trail. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was talking about the 80s and the cell phones and all that other stuff and whatnot. And all these things are now sharing the space. They're sharing the frequencies and the vibrations and the hertz that make us all live and survive. Ooh, what is this? My community is currently fighting the school district from activating a 5G tower that was put on an elementary school. Yeah. Okay. Now get this. And some doctors use hertz to induce a seizure. They do. And they're also using it. They give you Lyrica for it? No, they gave me something else that I stopped taking. Um, but anyway, they're actually using like different frequencies. I don't know what it is, but I have a friend of a friend that has really, it's not chronic depression. They say it's untreatable depression or something like that. But anyway, they put this hat on her that has all those wires attached to it. And there's some sort of frequencies that they do at specific parts of her brain. So if you think about all these things and you think about the fact that Elon Musk has launched all these little satellites up for the Starlink so that the entire Earth is going to be surrounded by all these little satellites so that we can have internet everywhere we go. I really think there's something going on. Would somebody come join me, please? Let's see. If you remember the movie Enemy of the State many years ago, everything in that movie was totally true at the time, and there's no telling what they can do now. That's true. True Texan. Um, yeah, there are several movies that show us how it really is and what is going on. And that's my whole thing is that, we trust everybody out there, our government and our corporations and all that other stuff, but we don't know what these things are doing to us. And there's something in that video that I showed you guys. Like I said, I'll drop the link in the description, but it was talking about how humans adapt to their environment. We, quote, evolve, right? Oh, you got the Starlink today. No problem, sweetheart. But but man, I am so spacey. It's like my brain is mush. There's been so many things going on lately in the world, and it just seems like I'm coming down off of a no, I don't trust our government on any level, local, state, or federal. Yes, True Texan. That's why you're my new ex-husband. Yes, join Grandma Sherry on panel. Thank you, Burden. But what was I talking about, y'all? Talking about oh, yeah, we don't know what they're doing to us. And just like oh, hey, hang on just a sec. Nicole's joining me. Is that you?
Yep, it's me.
Hey. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So what I was trying to say, and I need to keep notes for myself because I am just bleh, brain mush. But there's our DNA actually evolves for the environment that we're in. All right. Just like people can adapt to a new environment. And animals, depending on where they are in the world and whatnot, they evolve or they adapt for the environment they're in. And so, with all these frequencies and all these other stuff going on, um, there's a possibility that it's affecting our DNA. And if that's the case, and we're seeing all these just really an increase of violence and really bad judgments, like there's no executive function in our brains anymore. What do you think about that?
I think that's a definite possibility. Um, I came up to, discuss the school, and it's been proven that this causes cancer. So there's high probability, in my opinion, that it would definitely can affect the brain as well.
Yeah, so they put this tower thing on top of the school and they want to activate it.
Yeah, yeah, the school board approved it back in 2018. It never went up for any type of vote for the residents. Um, COVID ended up pushing it back for a few years, and it's just been brought to everyone's attention within maybe the last like 4 months, 5 months. But it
Wow.
is literally on the smokestack of an elementary school in a residential area.
So do they get paid like rent or something? There's got to be some sort of financial thing in there.
$1,000 a month.
So they get $12,000 a year to kill our kids.
Yes. Yep.
God.
So we've been fighting with the school board. We actually, our superintendent resigned over this, which I'm not sad about because I've wanted her gone for a long time. But even the city officials are not, I think one of them, only one, is on our side. The city council is just like, well, it's not up to us because it's on school property and the schools own their property.
That doesn't seem right because
So the permits and such are coming through the state. So this is all getting approved by the state to be done.
we're in the US, Jasmina. I wonder if they have that problem everywhere. Yeah, because if the parents are not for it, and have you guys done any research or what have you presented to the
Oh,
school board?
all the research. All the research. Thankfully, one of the parents that has a student in that specific school is a lawyer, and these are the types of things he deals with. So, we have very strong cases. We were hoping it wouldn't get to the legal standpoint, but the school board is refusing to break the contract with T-Mobile. So just so
Wow.
you know, T-Mobile is out there asking people to put their towers on schools. I'm in Michigan, and this is becoming bigger and bigger. Finally, Detroit schools, the parents and such are fighting because they have towers on their schools and they didn't realize what they were, the potential health causes they could have because of it. Eric, we have board meetings every month, and then once a month they have what's called a work meeting. They are all open to the public, and we have filled the room every meeting the last, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 months this has been going on. We had a protest. We just did a fundraiser to raise for legal fees. The lawyer is not charging, but he wants a second lawyer and he wants to hire specialists and such to, give us a better case.
Wow. Do you know of any other districts or any other towns that have done something similar? Or are you guys like a precedent?
We're a precedent in fighting against it. No, we are not the only ones. They're just not making it publicly known what these towers are on the schools.
See, that proves my point right there. The governments and corporations just do stuff for money that have a huge impact on our lives, our mental health, um, our physical health. Like you said, it could cause cancer. And we're just being saturated with more and more of these frequencies, of these vibrations, of the waves.
Mhm. Yep.
And hey, Twisted Sister, hi. Ellie, welcome in, sweetheart. You want to join me on panel? I know that you have kind of a brilliant mind. That's tinfoil hat E. Yeah. But gosh, I wish you guys the best for that. And I'd like to get an update on how you're doing with it because,
Of course.
there's so many things that we have imposed upon us that we don't even know about or we have no say over or anything along that line.
Yeah, it's not right, especially when it is things such as schools. I mean, the taxpayers pay for the schools. Those are our schools,
Exactly.
and they house our children 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for most of the year.
Exactly. Yeah. And if these things, having something right there, and I don't know anything about 5G because it's kind of a new thing, but I'm sure, Eric Starlink has something to do with it. But, and people want these things for convenience, and I understand that. And there's no judgment against, people have to have internet to have jobs now.
Mhm.
I don't think there's really any job, of course, someone's going to prove me wrong. There isn't any job that doesn't need some sort of internet link. I mean, even in construction now, they have little laptops where they're doing their surveys and they're connecting with, you know, different programs and whatnot while they're actually out there digging the dirt or
Right.
laying
Yeah.
all yeah, so hang on just a second. But hey Melanie, hi. Thanks for coming in, babe. But so what do you think about my frequency and the brain idea?
I think you're spot on. I know for myself personally, I feel so much better when I don't have any electronics going, except maybe music, and I am outside. That's just the difference from being inside my home to outside my home.
Yeah.
But then when I leave, because I live in a city with houses close together, so we all have the microwaves and the computers and everything, when I
Right.
pack my things and I go up north and I'm in the country and we don't have even a signal to use our electronics, I feel even better than when I'm just outside of my house away from my electronics.
You see, and that's where, like I said, this is just a real surface level, very thin ice kind of thing because I just started getting into this as I have been so frustrated with all of the stuff that's happening in the world, and it just seems like people have gone insane.
Mhm.
Like in my intro video, it's like the whole world has lost its damn mind. And it wasn't like that when I was growing up. Okay. Granted, there are more people on the earth. And I used to work in a pet shop, and we had a problem with our hamsters, right? Because hamsters and rats, if you have too many in like an enclosed space, they'll actually start eating each other.
Yeah.
So I sort of equate that to more people congestion, that maybe we're just eating each other, you know? But I think it goes so much farther than that because almost every news story that you see, it talks about mental health. You know, there's some sort of mental health problem with it.
I'm sorry. I just read Twisted Sisters uh comment in chat. I can pee in my yard and no one sees, I think. Satellites. That's right. You are always being watched.
Exactly. And I used to like to go to air shows when I
Mhm.
lived in California. And way back when, I'm trying to think, probably in the 80s, maybe, I went out to Edwards Air Force Base and they had something out there called a Blackbird. And they were talking about the surveillance technology on the Blackbird could take a photo of time on a watch while it
Hmm.
was, yeah. And that was the 80s. So, Twisted Sister, I wouldn't suggest peeing in your yard unless you have a canopy or maybe a green.
Eric, I agree with Eric. I do think, having dinner at the table with your family every night is important. I have, my daughter is 18. She's about to graduate, and we still eat dinner at the table together. When my
That's
son comes to visit, I cook, we sit down, we eat dinner at the table together. That's always been a thing when my kids were younger. And I think that may play a big part in it too, is the structure of family has changed so dramatically.
mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
either it's broken or there's lack of that the kids are getting more curious and getting on the internet and learning crazy things and it's rotting their brains, and I do think that also plays a role in it.
It does. Jasmina says, but is it not that we get all over the world, all information much faster as decades before?
True.
or we didn't get all the information. Yes, and that's
Yeah.
what Nicole was talking about because, it used to be that when, when my mom or dad would talk to me and say, "I don't want you hanging around those kids because they're a bad influence," you know?
Mhm.
The kids that got in trouble at school or maybe we were mischief and, we'd go into the Catholic church and blow out the candles and, stuff like that. But, now I kinda think that TikTok and social media and all that stuff is just basically all the wrong people. Like,
True.
if they were physical people
Mhm.
that our
You
kids were
wouldn't want
hanging
your
out with.
kids hanging out with them. That's
Right.
correct. Yeah, yeah.
Y but they have access to, eat Tide Pods or, God, the Benadryl challenge, stupid, stupid stuff
Mhm.
that they just really don't need, and I'm not just blaming TikTok because it's all social media. Everything, Omegle and Rumble and Kick and Twitter and Facebook and whatever else, all the things, Instagram. It's all the social things that, kids have access to for crying out loud. Now, I know that our devices, we can put on, like, parental guidance or parental protections,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I also know that, kids can get around that.
Yes, they can. I
So
mean, you figure, you could put a parental control on your kid's phone. Let's just use YouTube as an example, but every TV now is a smart TV.
yep.
So, I mean, my kids are older, but let's say they were younger and I had their TV set, but I leave my TV or, I'm doing laundry. I'm just, they have access. They're going to have access.
Mhm.
It's good to pay attention to what they are into on their phones. I always told my kids, if you have a phone, I will check it whenever I want. If you put a password on it, I better know it. And I did. I did do it all the time, and, thankfully, I never found anything too horrible, but, yeah, that's another thing you really need to pay attention to what they're, doing.
Exactly. Well, remember Chris Watts? He had the calculator app.
Yes.
It looked like a calculator, but it wasn't.
Mhm.
And I said this last time we were talking. When I was growing up, for little boys to find porn, they would wait until the National Geographic came out and hope that, it was an episode that had raunchy pictures in it or, risky pictures.
Mhm.
Um, or, like the older brother or the uncle or whatever, they'd hide the Playboy magazines underneath the mattress. But now I was
It's nasty. Oh my gosh, the things you can find now are just nasty, nasty.
well, one of the videos that B. Tim was playing for his van life, mind you, I said van life, okay? Um, Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous girl in Daisy Duke shorts and a crop top. And when I was younger, that would have been porn.
Right.
What are we saying here? So, I'm so happy to not have the responsibility to grow a child nowadays. Of course, that doesn't
Mhm.
help poor new parents. Well, yeah, our kids know how to do much more technology junk than we do lots of times.
That is very true. I
Or
can't tell you how many times I've had to call one of my kids and I've been like, "Hey, can you help me figure this out?"
exactly, exactly. And I'm kind of like the techno person in my old folks' apartment complex. Thankfully, I've kept up with it. But I mean, yeah, I don't want to go any deeper. I don't want any more apps. I don't want any more functions. I don't want any more emojis. Looking back, I think I was that kid. My coaches came into one of my two jobs, got my own place, told me to quit. I could not. You should not be a coach. Are these like sports coaches or? Life coaches? Oh, yeah. Never tell somebody they can't do anything because that's not true.
Right.
Oh my God, I love this. Just like nowadays when you're talking to someone on the phone and they drop you like a rock and take an incoming call, um, True Texan probably they don't know how to put you on hold and answer the other call.
I'm guilty of that. I don't know how to use the hold. There's
Yeah,
so many options. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to call you back.
right, exactly. It's all over the internet. Yes, it is. Everywhere. Everything is all the things. It's crazy. Um, oh, we were talking about stuff, phones, technology, and what they're getting away with, and getting around and all that kind of thing.
Now,
Um,
do you think we are just more aware of all these crazy people because we have the internet?
no,
No.
mm-mm, I don't. Um, okay, when I was growing up, oh, everybody loved Daisy Duke. I wanted to be her. I wanted to generally, and I wanted to slide across the hood and, the whole nine yards. So I'm not saying anything about that. What I'm saying is that the Daisy Duke shorts are yeah, see, even Steph wanted to be Daisy Duke. I didn't grow up to be beautiful and, you know, voluptuous and all that. But anyway, um, yeah, I don't know if it's fibro fog or I'm overloaded, you know, I'm just overloaded. Hey, dear Krabby. Hi, Queen Bella. Thanks, guys, for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, um, like I said, I just my hamster keeps falling off its wheel tonight, and I'm gonna blame Wi-Fi. I- I'm gonna blame the frequencies and whatnot. But
Mhm.
you know, something happened this afternoon. I got a text from my son who lives in Lubbock, Texas. Oh, hang on just a second. Oops. How would you prove that it's not because of the internet that we know more of crazy people than before? I would really like to know, and I'm not sure. Jasmina, that's a good question. I'm just going off of, and I will actually do a rabbit trail. I'll dig into statistics. I do know that things like shootings, mass shootings, are insane this year, so much higher than they have been in previous years. And why I'm saying that is because I got a text message from my son in Lubbock, Texas, and he said that he had to go and pick up the kids from school because there was a Snapchat, excuse me, a Snapchat warning of a school threat. I want to show it to you. Let me find it. Here it is. This is what my grandson shared with him. Um, and we don't need to be looking at my OneNote. Watch out, the school gonna get shot up by me and 17 other people on 5/11/23. And we also getting Monterey, that's the name of a school, and Estacado, which is the name of a school. Y'all better watch Friday because you some bad kids, and when you all die, it sure is gonna be funny, to mark my words. Lubbock High 2. Remember the date, that's today's date, at 2:30, y'all. Lucky I didn't shoot that crap up today. I was giving y'all a little extra time to say your goodbyes. So see you guys in the afterlife. And also that bong goes off 5/11/23 at 6 o'clock. So stay away from the school. If you want to live, mark my words, biggest school shooting in history, making history.
No, that is ridiculous. How that's scary.
It's terrifying.
But it's infuriating that kids make these threats even if they aren't planning on doing anything.
Okay, so me being loosely connected with the true crime community, um, I had to ask my son all the things. I said, where did this message come from and how do they know? And, is this something new or is this different? Because they threatened an entire school community. So, of course, I had to look it up. But I did find some articles about, I'm sorry, this really hits me hard because those are my grandbabies.
That's understandable that because yeah, that's just scary. It
It's
is very scary.
it's terrifying. But so I was looking up articles to see, what the news was saying about all this and whatnot. And it was saying that on Monday, some of the school districts were closing their schools because of threats. And so I asked my son, I said, where is this place and is it close to you? And he said, it's like 40 minutes from him, the one that happened Monday and
Mhm.
Tuesday and Wednesday. And evidently they arrested a 13-year-old um, in the earlier threats. They called them terroristic threats. And so he sent me a text not too long ago saying that they had caught three boys at that Monterey high school that they were mentioning, and one boy at my grandkids' school, their high school, and they were all armed.
Wow. Oh, how scary.
It's scary. It's terrifying. And because of things like this that's happening, um, so they didn't actually get to execute anything. They didn't get to fulfill their mission or operation or whatever. But the thing is that people are not right. And there's, things we can do like you're doing, Nicole, where, you're getting together with the families and you guys are going up against the school districts and you're saying, no, we don't want that. We can do things like that locally. And, we look at these things and we think, well, what I'm doing is not that big of a thing. Like maybe putting out the information on a missing kid or something like that, but it is.
Mhm.
It's such
Every little bit helps. Every little bit adds to making it bigger, more known.
It's a ripple effect. It's like
Exactly.
if you have a still pond and you throw a rock into the middle of it, the rock itself is nothing, but the resonance that happens and the ripples that happen, those are what we need to keep in mind, keep in our minds and our hearts, that even if it's just our little section, our heart, our family, our community, our school, our church, whatever, um, that everything you do to bring something positive into the world, I believe is increasing that vibration.
Mhm.
I believe is combating all that crazy making brain mush that's happening to us.
I agree with you.
And that's kind of what that's kind of what the borough was for. Is, I just want this to be a nice place where we can maybe laugh and talk about weird stuff and talk about things that hurt us and go towards healing. I want this channel to be like just a big group hug, you know, just a big group hug where we feel safe and it's just a nice place to get away from stuff.
Oh, we all love coming to Grandma Sherry's.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy you guys being here too. Yeah, we can't even go shopping without fears. I'm a little overwhelmed because that's the first I've actually talked about. Eric, hang on just a second. Eric, um, sweetheart, send me another email because I'm old. Okay. I probably put yours in a folder or something. But I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm getting a little overwhelmed because it's the first time I had talked about um oh, I like that. Our battery charging station at the borough. Um about my grandkids. You never know what someone is going through if not in their shoes. It's true. It's true detection. I love all you guys so much and I appreciate you so much for being here. Um I'm going to end this a little bit early and I'm going to go have a nice grandma cry.
Oh, I'm sending you all of my love.
Thank
They
you.
are safe.
Yes,
Your grandbabies are safe.
they're safe. They are. They're safe for today. And I love my son so much because he's kick ass. He's an army vet. And
Well, I'm pretty sure he had to have one hell of a mom.
oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Can I get you to talk to my oldest? Just kidding. Yeah.
You tell them I said so.
Uh,
I said so.
Nicole said, Robert,
Mhm.
I love you,
All
Robert.
right.
Yeah, but okay, so y'all have a really good night.
You too. I'm gonna go ahead and jump down.
And I'll be back on Sunday and I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll talk about something. Okay. Thanks guys for being here and please remember to like. If you could comment, that helps in the algorithm too. I love you all.